Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 3, Football Talk. First off, let me apologize for not being able to get to some of the headlines in the past week or so. I've been kind of busy, so I had a lot of things on my plate. Didn't have enough time to record these videos. So I figured, instead of wasting time in this video and backtracking all those things, let's just skip right to the point, get to the latest headline, the big story right now. But before I do, let me make it a little bit more suspenseful. Delay that off for a little bit, and let me send out a shout out to my main man Master CM for being the official troll of Football Talk. So if you want to go ahead, clap it up for him. Shout out to Master CM. Alright, starting off with the latest headline, that's Terrelle Pryor. And with this whole thing starting off, he's selling like jerseys and jewelry and all this crap, so he gets suspended by the NCAA. And he started off like, you know what, I'll stay in college, I'll serve my sentence. I'll take the right road. So everybody thinks everything's all hunky-dory and whatnot. And then he decides, nope, I'm going to supplemental draft. I'm going to skip this sentence. I'm going to go to the NFL and be this great and wonderful star. Well, something happened. I guess he had to go through paperwork or something. I don't know. But he wasn't eligible yet. And then finally, after a little while, he became eligible. So now he's officially in. And whether the NFL admits this or not, they made him serve the 5-game suspension that he's supposed to. And basically, my reasoning, which probably is the reasoning, is just because they're trying to make him serve that sentence so he didn't get rewarded by skipping out on it and going to the NFL. Which I agree with that. I think that should happen. Roger Goodell made a good decision right there. I mean, this kid, for him to even play in the first 5 games is kind of ridiculous. I mean, he does have raw athletic talent, no doubt about that. But there's no chance he's an NFL quarterback at this point in his career. There's no chance. I mean, if you were to start him in the first 5 games, your mental state needs to be examined big time. So with all this, with the supplemental draft and all that going on, some of the questions are, where's he going to go? I came up with a couple thoughts of likely suitors for him. And for me, that would be Cincinnati, because they're just so desperate on anything and everything. Another spot would probably be Miami. Give Henny more of a challenge. Plus, they looked at Vince Young, nice, speedy, mobile quarterback. Then there's also Buffalo. They're always a long shot at quarterback. Washington. Yeah, probably I think I'd take Terrelle Pryor over John Beck at this point. I mean, John Beck's, I think he's a waste. And then there's what's probably going to be the most likely scenario, which is Oakland, because Terrelle Pryor's a typical Al Davis player, just big, strong, and fast. So I think that's the most likely spot for him. Now, like I said, that's his most likely scenario. But I don't think that's the best scenario for him. I think Terrelle Pryor's best chance of being a quarterback would be for him to go to the Colts. Let him sit behind Peyton Manning. Have him sit like 3-4 years or however long it takes. Who cares? Kind of like Rodgers did with Brett Favre. Let Pryor sit on that bench. Let him learn. He's going to be sent behind probably the greatest quarterback of his time in Peyton Manning. Just let him learn behind Peyton Manning. And then when Peyton's retired, gone, whatever the case may be, the Colts will have a younger quarterback that can help take over the reins. I'm not saying he's going to be like Peyton Manning. I'm not saying he's going to be great like Peyton Manning. But with Terrelle Pryor sitting behind Manning and learning from him, I think he'd definitely be a decent starter in the league. Decent. Plus, you put that with mobility, he might be able to do something at some point, right? Now, a lot of people are saying, yo, he's so athletic, why not put him at wide out? Put him at a wide receiver. I don't think wide receiver. He's too bulky for that. In my opinion, he's more of a tight end kind of build. I mean, the guy's 6'6", 235. He's more of a tight end. Plus, he has a basketball background, which, it's only high school, but it's something, you know. It shows he's athletic, he has speed, he has a nice vertical leaping ability. You know, that basketball background will help out a lot as a tight end. I mean, look at some of the notable tight ends with basketball backgrounds. Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates. Those are just like the first two that jump out at you. Now, I'm not saying he's going to end up like them, but it's just something to throw out there, you know what I'm saying? I mean, at this point, Terrelle Pryor is not ready to be in the NFL. Just flat out, he's not ready. But for some reason, I don't know, it was just like the small Buckeye fan in me or what. I do feel hopeful for the guy. I feel more hopeful for Terrelle Pryor than Tim Tebow. I will admit that. I don't know why, I just do. Like I said, it might be the Buckeye thing, I don't know. And you hear a lot of speculation like Terrelle Pryor, he's never going to start, he's never going to do anything in the NFL. I think that's a little too extreme. I mean, he can definitely contribute at some point in his career. He's going to contribute to some degree for whatever team he goes to. At some point in his career, he will contribute to some degree. It may not be anytime soon, but it can happen. Now, with all this, I'm just going to leave y'all with a few questions. You know, where do you think he's going to end up? Where do you think he might be with the Raiders? Because that, to me, I just don't see anywhere else that fits him. I guess you could say fits him. I mean, he is the Al Davis player. Do you think he has a shot to succeed in the NFL? Whether it be as a quarterback or a wide receiver or a tight end, what do you think? I mean, heck, what's your overall opinion on Pryor and this whole Pryor situation, you know? I really want to hear the input, guys, so don't be afraid to leave some feedback. Hit up the comment section below, you know. I'm looking forward to hear from you. So, on that note, I would like to thank y'all for watching and keep tuning in.